Hi, this is Raj from ML Sportscars. In this diary episode, I'm going to be talking about how the 991 Generation 1 two-wheel drive models handle in the winter. I do get asked this a lot actually about, is it best if I'm going to be using the car all year round, should I have the four-wheel drive 911, so the Carrera 4, Carrera 4S, and various other models, Targa 4, Targa 4S, or the two-wheel drive ones, the Carrera S, or just the straight Carrera 3.4. This is a Carrera S 3.8 991 Gen 1. It was actually registered 31st of December 2011, so it's one of the first cars. It would have been a showroom car, I would say, like a launch car, to basically demonstrate to customers when they were thinking of putting an order in for one of these. As it was the new model, it replaced the 997 Gen 2s. And in fact, there are some 997 Gen 2s that were registered after this car in early 2012. So it's a very early car. It's got a really nice spec actually. It's sapphire blue metallic, which is a very striking colour. Replaced aqua blue metallic in the 997 Gen 2s, and before that cobalt blue in the colour palette for this range of cars. With it being the S model, it has the bigger brakes. It has optional sports PASM, so not just PASM, Porsche Active Suspension Management. It has sports PASM, which means it sits a further 10mm lower. It has what's called a sport chassis, so it has thicker anti-roll bars, it has slightly shorter dampers, stiffer springs, and it has a different front skirt under the bumper. The rubber piece, rubbery plastic piece that sits at the bottom of the painted bumper, is bigger, more pronounced. It's a bigger front splitter, and the rear spoiler is programmed to go up at a higher angle when it's activated to give it a more sporting presence, but also greater aerodynamic effectiveness. Now, with it being a 3.8S, means that it is 400 horsepower. It will do 0 to 60 in this setup 4.2. It doesn't have Sport Chrono, but it does have the switchable suspension. I said it does have the Sport button. Sport Plus makes it that little bit quicker. 400 horsepower to the rear wheels. Yes, they are quite wide. I think they're, from memory, 10.5 or 11 inches, probably 11 inches from memory, 20 inch wide and 20 inch diameter. It can sometimes struggle if the roads are extremely cold like they are today, so sort of 3 degrees, and wet with leaves and things on the surface. You would struggle also in a four-wheel drive, but if you were coming off a roundabout and it was slightly a curved exit, you wouldn't want to put your foot all the way to the floor suddenly, because, well, it wouldn't actually be necessarily a dangerous situation, because the traction control is very intelligent. It will sort of tidy up everything, so it will apply brakes at the rear, it will cut engine power, and it will instantly know how to try and save the situation. And it's not a necessarily dangerous situation, but it basically, you're at the limit of the tyre grip in that situation. So a four-wheel drive would be better, because it would immediately divert more than the 5% of torque it normally diverts to the front wheels. It diverts up to 40% to the front to basically distribute the power where there is grip. In the two-wheel drive, you don't have that option, but you do have the clever electronics, just like in the four-wheel drive, to sort of help you anyway. So I would say in those situations, it feels a little bit more skittish, but any other situation, driving on a road like this, which is nice and dry, even though it is cold, there is no hint of any issues with slip on the road. And I would say that there's nothing to worry about running a 991 during the winter months. They're obviously very well winter protected underneath. You don't have, obviously, clean it regularly and clean road salt off of it regularly, sort of like I'd say on a weekly basis, get in the wheel arches, get under the, as much as you can at the back of the car where the exhaust gaskets and bolts are, things like that. The sort of exposed areas where salt can sit and moisture can sort of build up, make sure they're thoroughly cleaned regularly. But other than that, there's no sort of real issues with how you need to run this car differently from a four-wheel drive or any other car. They are designed to be used all round, to be left outdoors, uncovered, don't have to be in garages. In fact, I find that these cars do actually perform better when you do use them regularly, and you do just keep on top of maintenance, personal maintenance, so on top of servicing obviously, but keep on top of cleaning them, which is fun. I mean, I quite enjoy cleaning a 911. It's very therapeutic. It's a beautiful car to make look pretty again, get all the road grime off of it, and they definitely catch the eye, especially in this sapphire blue. So that's my advice really, is don't be put off by, if you want to use the car all year round, that you have to get a four-wheel drive. The two-wheel drive is perfectly capable of dealing with UK roads, and you obviously have slightly more performance, ever so slightly, because obviously it's slightly lighter, same power, same engine in its comparative. So if you went like a Carrera four-wheel drive versus a Carrera 4 versus a Carrera 2, they have the same power, the 3.4. I think it's 350 horsepower from memory, and with the S models it's the 3.8 400 horsepower units, and from memory there's about 50 kilos, maybe 60 kilos difference between a Carrera 2 and a Carrera 4, and the same with a Carrera 4S versus a Carrera S. But that is heavily dependent on what options are fitted on the car. So if you've got the high-end seats, which this one does, then you will pay a little bit in weight penalty. And that's where I really wanted to finish this video. Just basically say it's not an issue to use these cars all year round, from experience of driving them. And yeah, just really, if you're thinking about buying one, get one, even if it is the winter, and start enjoying it. Well, I hope you found this video useful about 991 Gen 1s and whether you can use them in winter. If you have any questions, please do comment below. Please also like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.